So have you ever tried to quit sugar? You go all in, and then a day or two later, you're just cranky, you've got a headache, and all you can think about is something sweet. Look, if that sounds familiar, I want you to know something right up front. It is not a lack of willpower. It's not you failing. There's some serious stuff happening inside your brain. And in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on that first week, the good, the bad, and the totally transformative.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with why sugar feels like a roller coaster you can't get off of. Then we'll get real about what it's doing to you. From there, we'll dive deep into those first 7 days. And most importantly, I'll give you a toolkit to actually beat the withdrawal. And finally, we'll take a peek at what life is like on the other side. Ready? Let's get into it.
Okay, first things first, we have to talk about why quitting sugar is so ridiculously hard. And here's the secret. It's not about you being weak. It's about your brain chemistry. You're basically strapped into this intense roller coaster, and the ride is designed to make you never want to get off.
I mean, look at this. This quote from the Cleveland Clinic just lays it right out there. Sugar is absolutely addicting. And they're not just saying that to be dramatic. It's because sugar literally lights up the same reward pathways in your brain that are involved in substance addiction. It creates this powerful loop of craving and reward that can feel, well, pretty much impossible to escape. And this is where it gets kinda wild. Check out this analogy. Think of regular sugar hitting your brain like a firework, a nice, bright pop of pleasure. Okay, cool. But artificial sweeteners? They can be hundreds of times sweeter. So that's not a firework. That's like the grand finale at Disney World going off all at once inside your head. It's just this massive sensory overload, and it makes your brain scream, "Do that again!" And the culprit behind all of this? It's a little chemical you've probably heard of, dopamine. See, every time you eat sugar, your brain gets this awesome surge of dopamine, that feel-good chemical. But here's the catch. That surge is always followed by a crash, and that crash makes you crave more sugar to get that high again. That right there is the sugar roller coaster, the up, the down, the craving for the next ride.
So it's not just about those cravings, right? The long-term effects of being on that roller coaster are pretty serious. We're talking about real, measurable damage to your brain, your body, and even your skin.
Yeah, believe it or not, a high-sugar diet can literally start to show up on your face. There's this process called glycation. Basically, sugar molecules attach to proteins like collagen and elastin and damage them. The stuff that keeps your skin firm and bouncy. And the research says the signs often start to pop up around age 35. We're talking deeper lines, sagging around the jaw. It's pretty wild.
And what's happening on the outside is just a reflection of what's happening on the inside. You see, tons of research points to sugar as a huge driver of chronic, low-grade inflammation. The best way to think about it is like a small fire that's just always smoldering inside your body. And that doesn't just mean your joints ache, it affects your whole system, including your brain, and it's even linked to autoimmune diseases.
Okay, so at this point you might be thinking, fine, I'll just switch to diet stuff. Well, hold on a second. It's not that simple. Turns out many of the common artificial sweeteners have their own baggage, especially when it comes to your brain. You can see it right here. Aspartame is linked to cognitive decline. Saccharin to memory issues. Sucralose messes with your gut, which is directly connected to your brain. The takeaway here is huge. Sugar-free definitely does not mean consequence-free.
All right, so you get it. You're ready to make a change. Now we're getting to the heart of it all. What does that first week actually feel like? Because this, my friends, is where the challenge really begins. So if you start this journey and you're feeling anxious or super irritable, maybe you're exhausted and can't focus, please know you're not going crazy, and you're definitely not alone. Look at this list. These are the classic textbook symptoms of sugar withdrawal. It's your body and your brain literally rewiring themselves in real time. It's a process.
And this suffering, it's not random. It actually follows a pretty predictable timeline. For the first few days, your body's burning through its last sugar reserves. That's when the headaches and anxiety can really kick in as your brain chemistry starts to shift. But then something amazing happens around day 4 or so. Your body starts making something called ketones for fuel. It's a huge switch. And while your brain is getting used to this new, super clean energy source, your mood can be, well, let's just say it can be a bit of a roller coaster.
Okay, I know that sounds pretty rough, and it can be. But the good news is you don't have to just white-knuckle it and hope for the best. There are real, practical things you can do. So let's build your toolkit for not just surviving, but succeeding.
I love this plan because it is so simple and totally doable.
Notice it doesn't say throw everything out and eat nothing but kale. No. It starts with awareness. Step 1, just track what you drink. No judgment, just write it down. Step 2, swap one of those sugary drinks for something else, like sparkling water. And step 3, add a little movement. Just a 10-minute walk after your biggest meal. It's a game changer for blood sugar. It's about building small, sustainable habits, not shocking your system.
And here are a few more little tricks to keep in your back pocket. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. It's your best friend for headaches. Eat lots of fiber from veggies to stay full. And this next one is my favorite little hack. When a really intense craving hits, grab an ice-cold, unsweetened drink. That shock of cold can actually help short-circuit the craving. Oh, and it might be worth asking your doctor about magnesium. It's super important for regulating blood sugar. So, you use these tools, you push through that first week. The fog starts to lift, the cravings get quieter, you've climbed the biggest hill. So, what's on the other side? Let's talk about the reward, because it is so worth it. This, right here, is the why. This is the payoff. After that initial adjustment period, which can take a couple of weeks, something incredible starts to happen. People almost universally report this feeling of mental clarity. The brain fog just dissolves. Your mood stabilizes. Your focus sharpens. You're not riding that energy roller coaster anymore. You're just on.
So when you look at the whole picture, that first week is tough, for sure. It's an intense period of your body and brain recalibrating. But it's also incredible proof of how adaptable you are. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If your brain can change that much in just 7 days, what could you accomplish in a month? What's really possible?